Hey folks, it's Uncle Jay. Well, in the crosshairs today is the CIA's horrifying assassination program. Yes, folks, you heard it right. Democrats on the House Intelligence Committee are outraged that our government had a program in place to assassinate world leaders and they weren't informed of it. Oh, wait a minute. It wasn't world leaders, because that would be assassination. It was Al-Qaeda leaders, and that would make it targeted killings. A very serious distinction in both U.S. and international law, and one these same Democrats are now using to make political hay about another classified program they probably ought to just shut the fuck up about. Now, really, I get a feeling this came about in an attempt to cover Madam Speaker Pelosi's highly exposed ass when she claimed the CIA was lying to her and had never mentioned the fact that they weren't just considering waterboarding, they actually got a few Al-Qaeda biggies, including KSM, wet. Now, she was lying about that and has yet to retract her statement. What happened was Mr. Panetta, another former House Democrat who now runs the CIA, happened to find out that there was a program pursuant to a presidential finding that President Bush made just after 9/11. Now, presidential finding is another serious distinction in U.S. law. It means the president determined under his executive authority that something had to be done. In this case, that something was maybe it's a good idea if whenever we could find an Al-Qaeda leader, we put a bullet in his head. I would have thought that was part of his job description. He went ahead and made it official, wrote a presidential finding, and briefed Congress. Leaders of both House and Senate Intelligence Committees were briefed on this presidential finding, authorizing the CIA to go ahead, try and find some Al-Qaeda leaders, and try and return them to room temperature. Common sense, you might think? Not in Washington politics. So now, how many years later, this presidential finding, which was never put to use, was never actually done. Sadly, in my book, I wish they'd have ventilated a whole bunch of them. Haven't done it. Now Panetta finds out about it, screams bloody murder, shuts it down, and then he goes and he briefs the House Intelligence Committee. Now, like the good patriots they are, they took this classified information and kept it to themselves. Oh wait, no they didn't. They played politics with our national security as usual. So they wrote a letter and publicized the fact that they hadn't been told about a program that hadn't been operational and was never used. I mean, pretty soon, they're going to want to know what kind of crazy-ass schemes we were dreaming up in team rooms and special forces groups. I mean, good Lord, we had some great ideas. Never put them to use. Never raised them to the level where Congress had to be briefed. Just like this situation. So what we've got is a bunch of House Democrats playing politics with classified programs as usual. And just because this seems to be the norm, guess what? This same program, which was not operational, this same finding, was publicized in my favorite newspaper, the New York Times, in 2002. Now, I know all House Democrats get the New York Times, so the idea that somehow this was hidden from them, somehow they were kept in the dark about a program that never was operational, that never went beyond crazy-ass scheming in the basement of the CIA, well, that's bullshit. They know it. They're trying to cover the speaker's ass, and more than anything, they're trying to deflect the public and the media's attention from the fact that everything they've done since Obama came to power has been a debacle. That stimulus package that he let them write, pork-laden baloney, has done nothing. Jobless rates in the toilet. Everything looks like crap. So, what are they going to do? Must be time to deflect some blame back to the Bush crime family. And you got to note for sure that they blame Cheney. You remember my crazy guy that moonbat on the mall? You got to arrest Bush, but get Cheney first. He's the brains. Well, their claim is that Cheney's the one who told the CIA never tell anybody about this. Too bad that's contradicted by Admiral Hayden, who was running the CIA and says never happened. Once again, we got business as usual in our house. Politics trumps national security. Thank you so much. Well, what do we have here? Let's take a little look. Oh, aren't those just beautiful? About 6.5 hours in, another hour and a half maybe, and I will be eating that gorgeous rack of ribs.